I'm the director. I'm the program director of Salt Lake Pure Court. I'm new, kind of learning my role day in and day out. Yeah, I try to be a friend, but also I do all the behind the scenes stuff with Iris Salazar, the program coordinator. She's really my boss. She kind of tells me like how to do my job because she's been with the program for 8 years. But we work well together, and then we also have interns who help us in the
Pure
office.
Court to me is basically help, because we're there to like kind of lead them through where they have through the right way and help them out with their problems. And it's like also kind of like friendship, because sometimes you guys create a good connection between your mentee and your mentor.
Okay, my favorite part about Pure Court is actually just like the fundamentals of actually being together with a group and being able to help kids just like me who just happen to fall in between the cracks of our life, you know? And so just like the fact that using like my experience can help other kids just reach their potential and to be able to get a restart and just start fresh. You know?
Salt Lake Pure Court is a restorative justice program that focuses on trying to restore a youth's value to the community rather than punish troubled youth. It is composed of about 100 high school volunteers that have been trained in restorative justice practices, effective questioning techniques, mentoring, and 40 adult advisors who are primarily from the Bennion Center at the University of Utah. The adult advisors are contacting the parents, but also managing each courtroom. We have 6 courtrooms. We meet every Monday night in the Matheson Courthouse, except for holidays, of course. And there's a panel of about 7 students that hear the case, and it's just a back and forth, a conversation with the referred youth and their family member.
Well, it just shows people how important school is, because school will definitely help you out, like when you go to college, when you're trying to find a job, especially if you know what you want to do, then now's the time to actually start like studying towards it. And lots of people, like everyone who's truant to school or have low grades, we ask them, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you want to have a family? Do you want to have kids? Things like that, because those are really hard to support. And if you don't have education, then you can't really support that.
Pure Court helps other people make better decisions so that it wouldn't impact the environment and the neighborhood.
Pure Court's important for 3 primary reasons. The first reason being that America has a problem, a massive problem with the school-to-prison pipeline. We tend to push kids out of school, and when pushing them out of school, we're pushing them into the criminal justice system. I view this as a civil rights problem, and lots of the civil rights workers from the 60s and 70s viewed it as a civil rights problem as well. So the school-to-prison pipeline, we're pushing kids out of school because we have overcrowded schools, because we have zero-tolerance policies in schools for drugs or weapons, and because there's a lot of racism that's institutionalized in schools. And so a brown kid throws a snowball, he gets referred to juvenile court. A white kid throws a snowball, it's just Johnny being Johnny. So that's the first reason. The school-to-prison pipeline is a civil rights issue that we need to deal with. Second one is the disproportionate minority contact with the juvenile court system, which I kind of alluded to with the school-to-prison pipeline, saying brown kid throws a snowball, white kid throws a snowball. Two different results. Brown kid gets referred to a juvenile court system more likely than the white kid would, and more often than not, as our juvenile court system shows, or as our court system in general shows, white people their system is rigged in their favor, whereas minorities, the system is kind of rigged against them. Not kind of, definitely rigged against them. 1 in 3 black men are expected to go to prison in their life, 1 in 6 Latinos. The stat is nowhere near that for whites. And then finally, we're privatizing prisons, we're privatizing detention centers in the states. This is a horrible conflict of interest. We do not want to be making money off of incarcerating people. That's not what we want to do. So Those three reasons are the reasons why I think that we need a restorative justice youth court system that is the first step to reforming the overall justice system in America.
Peer court is very important to the community because, to be honest, learning from your own peers is the best way to learn anything. If it comes to like basic math or anything in school subjects to like hard lessons in life that your parents just can't teach. And so learning through other kids and learning from your peers just really helps impact your life, and it stays with you a lot longer.
It's influenced my life a lot. So before I started working with Peer Court, I was working as a bartender at a local restaurant called Binto, and I was also doing some work with the Benyon Center at the University of Utah. And those two jobs were fun, but they definitely weren't as fulfilling as this job is. So working for Salt Lake Peer Court is incredibly fulfilling. I really want to work in movements. I believe that social movements are really what changes America for the better. And I studied social movements with a civil rights focus in college, and this is like my dream to a certain extent, to be working on an issue that I believe is a civil rights issue with youth, the leaders of tomorrow. So not only has it been like really fulfilling, but I like feel really good about the work I'm doing, which is awesome. It's different from trying to get people drunk.
I've learned to be a leader and to be a leader that stands out in a big crowd.
The biggest lesson that I've learned so far, and that has always stayed with me, is just to not judge a book by its cover, basically. Before, I thought that I was going through a hard life, and just knowing like all these different kids, different stories, like I could use that to apply to my life and use what they learned from me and what I can learn from them, and I can use that to teach others.
My favorite part of being in Peer Court is that we get to see different points of view from different people, and we see like what people go through, and it's good because we could help them out. We're there to help them out, not judge them. Peer Court is definitely important to the community because it's just like there to help us, and we only not help them, but they also help us realize and see different things, of like to see more about our community and learn more about it.